Good afternoon, everyone. This is Latasha at Tasha's Tiny Homestead. Kind of doing a quick garden tour. My neighbor is choosing to, I guess, blow off his leaves. So there's that annoying sound in the background. I do apologize, so I will make this video quick. I am gardening in Northwest Georgia in Rockmart. I am zone 8B, I believe, 8A, 8A. This is my first year gardening here in Georgia, and I'm gardening in Georgia's famous red clay. I spent the last 10 years in Florida, gardening in Florida, and I just bought my house here this past October, and the first thing I worked on doing is putting this garden in here. So, by no means is my garden perfect, but it's perfect to me. I am really ecstatic about how everything looks this year. Everything looks really happy, really healthy. This year I decided not to prune my tomatoes, and I also only gave them about a foot of space between them, sometimes even less than that. I'm trying to make the most out of the space that I have, and I still have to till up areas over there for sunflowers, and I want to do an area, why is my neighbor getting closer? I want to do an area of flowers. So I kind of want to look at some of the stuff I have going on here. This is mostly all tomatoes here, and then down the rows I have peppers. Oh good, he stopped at least for a minute. And I mixed in, some things in here. I accidentally got some sunflowers or squash in here, which is back here. Lots of flowers on the cucumbers, but nothing has set on here yet. All of these I grew from seed. I grew them all from seed. I take great pride in growing everything from seed. Oh look, there's a flower on here. So my peppers are looking really good. They got hit by a frost, so I'll show you the frost damage and what that looks like on your leaves. However, they are looking, for the most part, pretty healthy. Look how big these leaves are on my cucumbers and squash. I mean, look how big that is. Wow. It has been raining like cats and dogs, so we do have some damage. I come out here and I check my plants about 4 times a day. And that seems excessive, but that is how I keep on top of pests. I'm thankful enough that I work from home, so I can just step out my front door and check my plants. For the most part, they're all doing good. I have seen a little bit of pest issues, nothing serious yet. This pepper plant is growing like crazy. Lots of flowers. Look, you can see all kinds of flowers on this. So this is shaping up to be just the best year for me. My tomatoes just look amazing. I realized that when you train and you cut down to 1 or 2 liters on your tomatoes, you're missing out on a lot of fruit. So they say if you cut it down to 1 liter, you get less fruit, but you get bigger. I prefer to have more fruit, even if they're smaller. Because I look at some of these plants and I'm looking at the side shoots. These are all side shoots. These are all parts that people would typically take off. I want to tie this up because if you see that right there, that's hanging right here, is actually from a plant. I believe that's on the other side of the trellis. So that plant there, I believe this is part of it. So look at the bean plants. I mean, look at the stalks. I mean, just thick, beautiful stalks. Here's some pest damage. I'm seeing ladybugs come out. So I have not sprayed anything. I try not to spray anything. I do try to be as organic as possible. And there is organic sprays. I don't typically use them until I really, really have to. I try to let oh look, my first flowers on this bean. Woohoo, nice. This is where I saw the bug damage that was on these back side of the leaves. So I flip my leaves over. So talking about why I check my plants 4 times a day. So I get up in the morning, about 6 or 7 when the sun comes up, and I come out here and I walk my garden. There's always changes to be had in this garden. There's always something. Isn't this beautiful? It's like a folious blue. Something I can't think of how it's pronounced, but so then what I got. And then I go to work and I come out at 2 of my breaks and my lunch. So that's 4 times a day I come out. I walk the garden, I check the leaves, I pull off anything that is infected, and you'll see I'm having a bit of issue over here with these. And these are infected. So I have to come through and cut those off. You don't want it to infect all the plants. You also see it on some of these. Look how beautiful those flowers are. So my garden by any means is not perfect. Tons of weeds in here. Tons of weeds. I don't even bother to really bother. I don't really bother with it. I have ADHD. I'll be out here digging for 3 days and forget to eat and everything else if I start messing with these dang weeds. Nobody's garden is perfect, but it's perfect for me. Here's an example of a tree that has issues. Now I try not to touch other branches. If I've touched these like I am now, I will not touch one that's clearly healthy. These, I will come through and cut these. This is a side branch. It's a side shoot. For some reason, the side shoots are infected. But you know, I don't want to cut it down because there's blooms. This here, this big thing here, is a side shoot. So pretty big. I'm going to have to tie that up. Healthy, healthy. Lots of weeds. I don't have anything planted down here yet. I'm not going to even mess with that. I'll get really obsessive about it. I haven't put anything down here yet. I can't remember what I decided to put down there. Probably some sweet potato slips. I have some sweet potato slips that I bought from Home Depot, and they were like a set of 6 for like $6. So I bought 2 of those. So I can plant some sweet potatoes. If you're cutting off all those sides and suckers, you're missing out on all of these. All of these. This is, let's see. This is like the main leader here. So if I just train it to this 1 leader, I would lose the ones over here, and I would lose the ones over here. And this is why I'd rather have more fruit. I don't have a lot of space, so I want the most production, and I'm working on canning. That's something I really want to get into. So I am looking for the most productivity. The hardest thing about this is keeping a hold of funguses. You know, I live in Florida, or Georgia, excuse me. I live in Georgia. It is very hot, very humid. So you're going to want to stay on top of pests and anything else. This here looks like a vine has grown. I don't know where the rest of it is, but I mean, oh, and I had a Brad's Atomic grape that was not doing well in the house at all. Put it outside and it's doing fantastic. Let's see if we can find it in here. I usually know exactly where to go. My neighbors come with this motorcycle, so hold on. All right, here it is. This is my, I'll have to find the old picture. This is my Brad's Atomic grape. Still puny as they always are, but considering the way it looked in the house, this looks really, really good. Plants just do so much better outside. Even Mother Nature's rain will make these plants just explode. My green giant, I didn't think this was going to make it. I have babied this plant. It's the only plant I know because their leaves are just different than any other tomato leaves. I mean, this green giant, big, thick stalks, very tall, beautiful. I am so excited. My bean bean plant. Now, I transplant even my cucumbers. So, because why not? Why not? I love experimenting and I love that works for me. There's no one size fits all. There's no right or wrong in gardening. It's what works for you. Me, I transplant everything because I just have to be playing in the dirt. And I'll plant just a plant because I just want to plant something. However, this over here is a cucumber plant that I transplanted. Oh, look at that. Female. It's a transplant. This thing is huge. It's massive. It's grabbing onto my tomatoes, as you can see right there, and I just let it do it. Just go on. I really want pickles this year, so if it means letting it grab one, that's okay. Look at that down there. Just beautiful. Look at all those blooms, and that's on a side branch. So if I would have trained that to 1 liter, I would have lost all those. So like I said, I make the sacrifice. I rather have smaller fruit but have more of it. And here's the ones that have dealt with the frost damage. The tomatoes are recovering beautiful. I thought for sure I had lost all these tomatoes, but even though they're still damaged from the frost, they have bounced back. You can see this is frost damage. We had 2 days, well, it wasn't frost, but 2 days of 36 degrees. They are bouncing back. So excited about that. I mean, they already have flowers. These have only been in the ground about 2 weeks. This is my rabbits bedding. So I change their bedding once a week. I've only had them a week, but I change it once a week. And I just drop it right into my garden as mulch and fertilizer. Bunny poop does not need to cool. It does not need to sit like chicken poo does. Here's one that dealt a lot of frost damage, but it's coming back. Like this one's coming back too. This one, look at this poor sad little plant. This is a Buna Mulata. The only one I have, super scrawny and skinny, not very big, and yet here it is flowering, and I'm just gonna let it. Here's another one that's recovering from the frost. You see it lost a lot of leaves, but a lot of these have come back. If a pepper has at least 1 leaf, it can come back. And I know that because my dog ate my pumpkin spice habanero down to the stem. So she ate it all. There was nothing but the stalk left. This is not the one. Nothing but this part left. And then there was a half a leaf and 1 whole leaf that was about this size. Came back, believe it or not. This is frost damage on here. So anytime you see that white, this is like sun scalding, just the opposite. So like I said, these have been in the ground about 2 weeks. So these are, settled in. They're over the transplant shock. These suffered really bad. My peppers here. Oh, look at that. Yay, a flower. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Some pest damage over here, pretty bad. I'm going to have to come through and tie this up. I used yarn to tie mine up because I had yarn on hand. So that's what I used. So everything is looking good. Some really bad pest damage on ones like this. Again, I haven't sprayed, but we'll see. These are my Roma tomatoes. Let's see. That one's a Roma tomato. And this one. These just went in the ground, these two right here. So they have not, rooted or anything yet. They literally just went in the ground. So that is what's happening over here in my weedy mess. And yes, we do see lots of weeds. Lots of weeds. And that's okay. It's okay that your garden is not perfect. I mean, look at all the weeds. I actually feed the dandelions to my rabbits. So I do tend to let my yard grow up a little bit, and then I just pull everything and feed it to the rabbits. But look, I have weeds. It's okay. It's okay to have weeds. No garden is perfect. but it's perfect to me. So let's go take a look over here. We're gonna walk underneath my Japanese maple. And we're gonna come around to the pumpkin, watermelon, everything in here goes patch. I have my smoker going on the deck. It smells amazing. So we have some squash here, all male flowers, some squash that they're just starting to actually do something. Lots of weeds back here. I just basically tilled it up and just went with it. Lots of weeds, and I don't care. I don't pick the weeds. I leave them. These I want to add some more dirt to this. These are watermelon I just planted. I'm going to have to hill these up. So we'll hill those up so that they're standing up nice and tall. We had another one come up here. The challenge has been something eats them as soon as they emerge. So that is a struggle. These are all squash here. They're finally starting to do something. Over here, we have some cucumbers. It's having poor germination over here. I started hand pollinating some of them. These have been in the ground for 2 to 3 weeks and they have not done anything. These are watermelon. They have not done anything. I'm assuming that I should have amended a little bit more. And they're not liking this heavier clay soil. Some cucumbers back here. If your cucumbers are shaped like that, typically it's poor germination. That's what that is. There's another one up there. These are all transplants. Some more melon I just direct sowed in here. So far, that one is the only one that came up. And this small one here. Oh, the bugs. I need to hill up over here. These are some, I don't know what they are, maybe squash. Some more have, oh, look at that. We got another one. Look at that. Yay! Animals had dug those up and I just put them back in the ground like 3 days ago. Over here on this side, these are ones I just recently planted out. Over here on this side, I have cucumbers. Wait. I'm pretty sure that's not what I have. Maybe it's squash. That's what that is. You can see the pests have come through and started to eat some. But there's other ones that look really good. In this middle, I have okra. And down this way, I have squash, or eggplant. I had one germinate, but I can't figure out where he is. But there was, unless something ate it. But there was, I saw one. So those three down there, oh, here it is. There it is. Very small. It's an eggplant. And then over here, I have all cucumbers. Very good germination on my cucumbers. The hardest thing that I'm finding out about cucumbers is, or any of these, is just stopping something from eating them while they're coming up. You know, that's the hardest thing. So I appreciate you coming by for this video. I'm gonna go back in the house because Mama Bird is trying to get back up there to her nest. Tomorrow or another time we'll go take a look at the peppers that are on the front porch. They are flowering. And then we'll also talk about and show the rabbits, and we'll talk about our plans with my plans with the rabbits and what the next things are. And surprise, this rabbit, one of the rabbits is supposed to be pregnant. So, and she's due next week, if she is. So I cannot wait to show you that whole thing too. But anyways, thank you for stopping by Tasha's Tiny Homestead, my whole front yard garden. I hope you stay a while, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and like and share this page. I look forward to seeing you guys all later. Have a great weekend.